Welcome back to your mat. Let's start in Hero's Pose with the shins on the earth. Bring length to your spine and roll your shoulders down your back as you close your eyes. Connect to your breath. Allow yourself to become fully present in this moment. And on an inhale, inhale your hands to your heart center to set an intention for your practice today. And very gently bow down to that God being within you, within all of us, within all things. Returning to center. Breathing here. And gently releasing those palms and clasping those hands behind the back, opening that heart, those shoulders as you bring those palms, those knuckles down towards the earth, allowing the neck to fall back, breathing here. Tuck that chin forward and on an exhale, forward folding into child's pose, keeping those arms connected, breathing into that shoulder stretch here, steady breath. On your next inhale, inhale lifting the upper body back up. Exhale, extending back once again, open that heart. Breathing here. And on that next exhale, forward fold one more time into that child's pose. Keep those arms connected, breathe into your shoulders. And on your next inhale, lifting back up. Last time here as we extend back, lift the heart up and through. And then release those hands, extending them in front of you into that child's pose, Balasana. And then bringing the arms to the side of the body, clasping those hands onto the heels, and on an inhale, lifting up to the crown of the head into rabbit pose. Really pulling on those feet as you lift those sit bones, lift those thighs, lift that body up towards the sky. And on the exhale, releasing back down. Release those arms in front of you, nice and long on the mat. Breathing here. Full, steady breath. And then spread those fingers wide, root the palms down as you shift the weight forward. Spreading those knees out right under those hips. And on an inhale, lift that spine up and through into that cow. And on that exhale, rounding into the upper back cat pose. Inhale, lengthen, and then lift that heart up. And on your exhale, rounding into that upper back. Inhale, lift and extend. Exhale, round as you shift those hips subtly forward. And then next inhale, moving into some circles here as we come forward, breathing into the shoulders, and on those exhales, come back, sitting back onto those heels and really lifting up, moving organically with your body. And then switching directions, a few circles the other way. Find some natural movement here. Stay with your breath and your intention. Come back to center, root that left palm as you inhale that right arm towards the sky. And on the exhale, lacing that arm under the body here. Adjusting that right arm into that goalpost as you press into the earth here. Allowing yourself to move more deeply in the shoulder. And on that inhale, right arm back to sky. Exhale, release it to the earth. And on that inhale, Left arm rises. Exhale, send it underneath the body, adjusting that left palm into that 90-degree angle, pressing into the earth, twisting a little deeper. On that next inhale, lifting back up and releasing the palm to the earth. Tuck those toes, lift those sit bones high, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Maybe some gentle movement here as we pedal out the feet, and then transitioning into a place of stillness. Maybe some movement of the neck, some circles of the head. Press into the mat, lengthen the spine. Deep, steady breath. And on that next inhale, we're going to inhale, slowly rolling forward here into a high plank. Exhale, pressing back into that downward facing dog. Just inviting a little movement here into the shoulders. Breathing again in that downward dog. And on that next inhale, rolling forward again into that high plank. Engage the core. And on that exhale, send those hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward one more time. And then releasing the knees through the earth, releasing the chest. And lifting up into that cobra pose, little to no weight in the palm of the hands, maybe even lifting them off the mat so you engage the spine here. Steady breath, stay here. If those hands are away from the earth, releasing them back down, root those palms, lifting all the way up here into an upward facing dog. Breathe here. And on that exhale, send the weight back, but don't flip the feet as you breathe into the front of those feet. And then slowly release one foot and then the other. Rooting down here, find your stability, and when you're ready, bringing that left arm across to the right side, maybe the thigh, the calf, or the ankle. Twisting open wherever that connection is underneath the body. On the exhale, release that left hand and switch sides. Again, maybe the thigh, the calf, or the ankle, twisting open under the body, breathing here. Full, steady breath. And on that exhale, releasing that right palm down. Press those palms into the mat as we walk those feet forward here, 4 to 6 steps to the front of the mat. Release down into that forward fold, folding from the hips. And on that inhale, halfway lift, so we extend out through the crown of the head, and on the exhale, folding back down. Inhale, we rise as arms come wide. Exhale, gentle back extension, shift those hips forward. Inhale, lifting back to center. On that exhale, slowly bring those palms down to the heart. Breathing here. Release the palms to the side, facing forward. Re-embody your intention. And on that next inhale, arms rise wide to the sky, and on that exhale, forward fold. Release the palms down, root them down. Send that left leg back, then the right. High plank, chaturanga, lower halfway down as we inhale to that upward facing dog. Breathing here for the exhale. Inhale one more time. And on your next exhale, send those hips back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Breathe here. Root the palms, lengthen the spine. Gaze comes forward, and on that next inhale, step or hop into that forward fold at the front of the mat. Maybe there's a little movement, maybe there's stillness. On that next inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, rise as arms rise to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Plant those hands, send that left leg back, keep the right foot rooted, and on your inhale, high lunge. Square those hips. Make sure that knee is not crossing the ankle on the right foot. Rotate those pinkies towards center. Breathe here. Steady breath. Powerful and strong. And on that exhale, extending into an angle here. And then opening that right arm back. So we're coming into a twist. And then on the exhale, release the left hand to the earth, right arm to the sky. Finding a little bit of movement as you rotate that right arm in a full circle. And then another. One more time here. Use that breath to guide that arm. And then come back to that extension as you reach the right arm towards the sky. Create space in the chest. Exhale, release the palm to the earth. Extend that front leg as we come here into a pyramid pose. Release back into that lunge. Inhale here. Steady breath. And on that exhale, extending back into that pyramid pose. Folding from the hips. Keep that heart shining through. Maybe you walk that stance a little bit closer as you step the back foot in. Maybe you stay. Square those hips, left hip forward, right hip back. If you want to move a little deeper, you can walk those arms so those fingertips are pointed towards the back foot. Testing your balance a little bit more here. Steady breath wherever you are. Release the forehead down towards the knee. Breathe. Stay in the posture. Stay in your body, out of the mind. And then walk those hands forward if they're extended behind you. Root those palms down, come back into that bent front leg, and then send that right leg back. Maybe you keep it lifted as you move through Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Root those feet, press those palms into the mat, lengthen your spine. Breathe. On that next inhale, right leg rises as we bend the knee, we open the hip here. And then slow and control, releasing that leg over the back of the body, coming into that flip dog. If this is not in your practice, just keep the leg bent here. In that flip dog, maybe opening that arm into that goal post and then into that straight arm as we return to that one-legged downward dog. Steady breath. On that exhale, bringing that right knee forward and through the body into that fallen triangle. Inhale that left arm to the sky. Steady breath here. Keep those hips high. On that exhale, release the left palm down. Inhale that knee back to the chest and then extend it back out behind you into that three-legged dog. Moving through Chaturanga, maybe one-legged if you keep that foot lifted. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Root the palms. And on that inhale, step or hop forward to that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, roll the shoulders down the back, create space. And on your exhale, releasing back down. Inhale, rise, arms come wide. Exhale, gentle back extension as we shift the hips forward. Inhale to the sky, and on that next exhale, arms come wide as we release back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, root the palms to the earth, step that right leg back. Coming into that high lunge, and on your inhale, arms come to the sky. Square those hips, left hip forward, right hip back. Breathing here. Steady breath. And then coming into that extension forward here, lengthening the spine and then twisting that left arm open. Exhale, release The left arm to the earth, right arm comes to the sky. Breathing here. Adding those rotations of this shoulder here. 3 full circles with that upper arm. Maybe the gaze comes down and then up. Up to you. Be with your breath. And after that third circle, reach through those fingertips again. Lengthen across the chest. And on that exhale, release that left palm down. Straightening that left leg. Square those hips. Breathing here. Pyramid pose. Exhale, coming back into that lunge position. 1 breath here. And on that exhale, back to that pyramid, squaring those hips right away. Left hip back, right hip forward. 1 more time on that exhale, coming into that lunge. And then returning to that pyramid pose. If you want to challenge your balance, maybe rotating those fingertips towards the back of your space. Releasing here, breathing into that hamstring. Steady breath wherever you are. And then if those hands are away from the front of the mat, walking them forward, bending that left leg. Inhale, rise, high lunge. Exhale, release the palms to the mat. Step that left leg back into that one-legged chaturanga if it feels right. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, send the hips back, downward facing dog. Root those palms into the earth, and on that inhale, left leg high, opening that hip. Breathing here into the steady breath into that hip. And then slow and controlled, moving into that flip dog if it's in your practice, extending through that left arm. And then if it feels right to bend at the elbow, coming into that goal post, that 90-degree angle with that arm. Extending it out long once again, and then slow and controlled, returning to that one-legged downward dog. Bringing that left knee up into the chest, sending it underneath the body to that fallen triangle as you inhale, right arm to the sky. Extending that right arm, creating space here. Steady breath. And on that next inhale, inhaling that right arm back to the mat as that knee comes back to the chest. Extending it out long, one-legged chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, send it all back, downward facing dog. Root the palms, root the feet, breathing here. Return to that intention if it's left. And on an exhale, release knees to the earth, wide-legged child's pose. Extend your arms out long. Moving into the energy of gratitude as you bow down. And on that next inhale, lifting back up, lifting those knees, downward facing dog. Right leg to the sky, and on that exhale, slow and control, we're going to release it to the outside of that right hand, coming into that lizard posture. Keeping the back knee up if it feels right. We're going to just invite a little bit of movement right now as we lower the chest to the earth and then extend, lift back up. And then releasing that left knee, reaching that right arm back to grab onto that foot, pulling that heel in towards the sit bone. This can be an intense stretch, so stay with your breath. Invite space into your body. On your exhale, releasing back down, release the foot, plant the hand. Tuck the left toes as you lift that knee back up. Extending that right leg back, opening that hip, returning to that flip dog here as you extend through the right arm. And then slowly make your way back to that one-legged downward dog. We're going to come into a new position here as we slowly bring that right foot forward, that knee forward. Release the top of the foot down onto the mat and then bring that left knee underneath the right. So we're stacking here into Gomukhasana. Left leg is underneath the right. Inhale, lift that spine nice and tall. Breathing here. Maybe this is a deep enough stretch for the hips. Maybe you want to move deeper. And on that next exhale, you lead with the heart as you extend that heart forward and you move a bit more deeply into those hips. Wherever you are, stay with that steady breath. Stay with that intention. Stay in your body. Full, steady breath. And on that next inhale, engage the core as we lift back up to that tall spine. Slowly releasing that right foot onto the earth. We're going to come into a spinal twist here. Bringing that left arm to the outside of that right knee. Right arm behind the body as we lift through the spine and we deepen the twist by looking towards the back of the mat. Breathing here. And then slowly releasing to face forward once again. Bringing that right leg back to the back of the mat and then the left coming to that high plank and flowing through your chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward facing dog. And on that next inhale, left leg to sky as we bend the knee, slowly making our way back to that flip dog position, extending here through that left arm. Full breath. And then slowly making our way back to that one-legged downward dog as we step that left leg forward to the outside of the left palm, coming into that lizard pose. Again, if it feels right, maybe bringing a little bit of that movement as we bring the heart towards the earth and then lift it back up and through. And then gently lowering down onto that back knee and rotating that left arm back to reach the outside of that foot as we pull that foot in towards the sit bones. Breathing here, stay with your breath. This is a deep posture and we will be here for a few breaths. So really allow yourself to be present. Breathe. Then slowly release that foot down, plant that left arm, tuck the back toes, lift the knee, step that left leg back into that one-legged downward dog, and then slowly open back up that flip dog pose here as we extend through the fingertips, breathing. And slowly making your way back to that one-legged dog as we inhale that left knee forward, coming into the Gomukhasana pose, bringing the top of that foot to the earth as we pull that right foot, that right knee underneath the left. Make sure those sit bones are rooted as you lift the spine nice and tall, working towards stacking those knees. Maybe you stay here if you want to. On an exhale, fold from the hips as we slowly extend forward through the heart, moving more deeply into this posture. Staying aligned with your breath as we will be here for a few breaths. Stay with your intention. Stay in the present moment together. Full, steady breath. And on that next inhale, engage the core as you lift back up. Bringing that left foot onto the earth as we come into the spinal twist, inhaling that right arm high. Exhale, bringing it to the outside of that left leg. Left arm back, little to no weight as we lift up through the spine. Exhale, twisting in deeper, looking towards the back of your space. Breathing here. Keeping that spine nice and tall. Slowly releasing the face forward. Root those palms back on the earth as you send that left leg back. Tuck those toes, send that right leg back. Downward facing dog. Press into the mat. Lengthen the spine as you breathe here. Steady breath. Stay with your intention. Gaze comes forward, and on an inhale, we hop or step into a wide-legged yogi squat here, Malasana. Inhale, hands to heart center, lift that spine nice and tall, breathing here. Steady breath, keep that length in your spine. Close your eyes, embody your intention. And then extending those arms in front of you. Maybe you put your hands on the mat to lower down, but if you want to challenge yourself, slowly lowering down into Navasana, boat pose, lifting the feet up off of the earth. Keep that spine nice and extended. We have a tendency to round here, so stay lifted, stay engaged. Breathing here, use that core. Steady breath. Slow and controlled, we lower all the way down onto the mat. Release the arms, release the body. So we bring those feet out wide, shoulder blades under the body, moving into that final resting posture. Allowing everything to release, to relax, to surrender to earth below, sky above, great spirit within and around you. And for these next few moments, allow yourself to completely Slowly bring movement to the fingers, the toes, the ankles, the wrists, and as you're ready, extend the arms above the head, full body stretch, and then making your way to your right side. A few breaths here on your masculine side, the side from which you give and the side from which you release. So take a few breaths to release anything that doesn't serve. Allow it to fall to Mother Earth below, where she gladly transmutes those energies. And as you feel ready, slowly make your way back up to that comfortable seat. Keep those eyes closed. Return to that tall spine, shoulders down the back, open heart. Steady breath. And on an inhale, inhale hands to heart center. Embody your intention one more time. And gently bow down to that God being within you. Return to center, and with your hands at a place of balance in front of your heart, inhale those hands up to your third eye center, your point of clarity, bringing balance here. Exhale, hands to lips, bringing balance to your words, balance to your truth. And on that next exhale, hands to heart, balance in your love and balance in your heart. And from this place of balance within me, I recognize, honor, and appreciate the teacher, the light, and the divine within you. Namaste.